boys in the booth. Talking on the board, you know we spitting the truth. Rub and fight hard, showing love for the game. Owls in the sky, play for more than the fame. Play sharp on the field, eager to rise. Leads chants loud, I see a devoted lives. Barnsley Grit Warriors.
Good evening and welcome to Terrace Talk FPL. So on tonight's show, we are going to run through our drafts for the first game week of the FPL. Tonight we have got a Arsenal fan, Mers. How you doing, Mers? You good?
Not doing too badly, thank you.
Super. You looking forward to the FPL?
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, like every year with FPL, take it seriously at the start and then suddenly forget about it like halfway through the season.
Yeah, very much so. Hutch is obviously a Leeds fan. So it'll be interesting to see if he's got any Leeds players in his FPL. How you doing, Hutch? You all right?
Not bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. And we've got our resident Forest fan, Phil. How you doing, Phil?
I'm all right, thanks, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So we'll start with you, Phil.
Yep.
Seeing as you're in my left-hand corner. So what we'll do is we'll do it all, each player. So we'll all start with us two keepers, and we'll go around the room. So who's your two keepers, Phil?
So my main keeper that I've got on the pitch is, as always, good old Matt Sells. Fantastic season last season, and yeah, he just says it for himself. My second keeper, my final choice for this game week is Sanchez. I've done a bit of digging, a bit of soul searching, and I decided to get rid of the Brentford keeper, and I feel as though Sanchez is probably likely to give me a little bit more.
Super. Well, this is going to be a bit boring because my two keepers are the exact same as Phil's. So I've got Sells, the Forest keeper, who I think is an excellent keeper for Nottingham Forest. He's had a great season last season, and he just seems to be huge in goal. He just seems to save everything. And I swapped to Sanchez. I did have Kelly here, but he's got a flag already, so he may be carrying a knock. Hutch, what have you gone for in the keeper department?
So I've gone for Sanchez as my main goalkeeper, and then, as always, as I do, I always leave my second goalkeeper until I run out of money. Right. So I stuck to my guns, stayed loyal, and I've gone for Darlow as a backup goalkeeper, even though he's probably not going to play this season.
Super. Mers, who have you gone with?
Okay, so the starting goalkeeper for week 1 is going to be Petrovic, Bournemouth's new goalkeeper. And then my backup, who I probably might have started for week 1, but apparently he might have a bit of an injury, so might not play, is Dubravka.
Fair play, fair play. So, are any of you guys any good at the FPL? Has anybody had any high-ranking finishers, or is it?
I beat you last season, Bushy. So
the first time ever, and I dropped off a cliff, mate.
Oh, we've only played it for what, 2 seasons?
I was going through an emotional situation at the time.
Even though you did a Bushy special. No. You kept all your tokens until the last few games and thought, yeah. Aren't I good? And then they shot up short, didn't they?
Yeah. So on to the defenders then. So Hutch, who have you gone with for your? We have 5 defenders, don't we? Five defenders. So who's your starting defenders for game week 1?
So I'm only playing 3 defenders, so I've got 2 on bench. I've got Frimpong, Van der Ven, and Ait-Nouri as my starters.
Ooh,
Frimpong, I think, will be a massive addition to Premier League and Liverpool itself. He's attacking, he'll get assists, 100% get assists. And obviously this year they're doing, is it blocks as well? Defenders are getting points for blocks?
Yeah, sure.
They're based on 4 different things, I think. I think it's blocks, gaining possession again, things like that. So they get points for that.
Yeah, so, and same reason for Ait-Nouri, I think he was quality for Wolves last season. I think one of their standout players. Van der Ven, he is probably at the wrong club because I think he's one of the best defenders in league at the minute. He's got the pace, he's got headers, he's good with his feet, and he's solid at back. The shame is at Tottenham, I think. Because I think put him in an Arsenal shirt or a Chelsea shirt, I think he's quality. And on bench, I've got Aina from Forest, which Phil will appreciate. And then Alex Moreno as backup for our fullbacks. I think he is, on his day, he's good, and another one that loves to get forward and get your assists.
Some solid picks there, Hutch. Got a couple similar to mine, to be fair, as well. Mers, who's in your back line? Have you gone with a 3 at the back, or you gone with 4, 5?
I've gone with a 3 at the back as well. So at the moment, my starting 3 defenders are Livramento, Jed Spence, and Boscagli, who's new signing for Brighton. Then on the bench, I've got Wan-Bissaka and Senesi from Bournemouth. So quite a cheapish defense, but you save the money to then spend on midfield and attack.
Yeah. And Phil, what's your defenders? Are you gone with 3 at the back, same?
No, I've gone with 4 at the back, and it's just based purely on the these extra points that defenders are going to pick up. I feel as though having 4 at the back might just give me that extra couple of points. Just going off what Hutch put with Frimpong, I've changed my squad about 12 times now since being able to get access, and I had Frimpong in it for so long. The reason why I've dropped Frimpong, and it's nothing to do with anything about price and trying to get bigger players in, the reason why I dropped him was I just think he's going to be better in a few games' time, maybe game week 3, 4, 5, when he might come into his shell. So my back 4, I've gone for Nico Williams. Did look at Ola, looked at Murillo Milenkovic. I've got to have a Forest defender in there. I feel as though Nico Williams is well priced and a good solid pick there. I've got Miles Lewis-Skelly in there. Again, good quality defender. I think he's spot on. To counterbalance that, I've then gone for Virgil van Dijk, and I've also gone for that Rayan Aït-Nouri from Man City. Again, solid player, solid defender. And my one on the bench I've gone for is Ezri Konsa from Villa. Bushy, my views on Villa, and I think Villa are going to be the surprise team this season. So
I think they'll be decent.
Villa player in there as well. So I think Konsa is a good price and good to have in use.
Well, I've gone with 3 at the back as well. So I've gone Al-Nouri at Man City, Gabriel at Arsenal, and Frimpong at Liverpool, same as Hutch with Frimpong. I think he's a class signing. I think he's going to get lots of assists. I think he'll get chipping with goals as well. I think he scored at the weekend. Did he score at the weekend, Frimpong? I think he got
and assisted. He's got quite a few assists in pre-season as well since he joined.
Yeah. I think he's going to be a big player. I think he is going to be a standout defender this season myself. And on the bench, I've got Wan-Bissaka, and I've also got Rodon at Leeds. Purely just for the
Money.
Save me money for midfield. So on to midfield. Hutch, what's your midfield? Have you gone with 5 in midfield then? 3, 5, 2? 4.
3, 4, 3 I've gone.
Okay.
So I've gone for words from Liverpool. I've got Cole Palmer, who was also my vice captain. Anthony Langer. I think it's a big season for him. Newcastle. I think he'll be decent. It was class last season. And then I've got, is it Reinders from City?
City, yeah.
So I've got him. I've seen a bit of him last season, and I think he'll do well in Prem. Again, like Phil said, probably in a few games' time, but Wolves away first game of the season, I think it's a decent starting point, that. And then on my bench, Leeds player again is Stack. I think he'll have a good season. I think Depending on who we're playing against, I think I might swap them around because obviously I don't think Newcastle will do much against the top 4 or 5. So it might just be a rotation between Langer and Stack, depending on who we're playing and who they're playing.
Solid picks, them. Yeah, I think the Leeds lad, he was quality last season for you.
Yeah.
So I think he will have he'll be beneficial if you can keep sort of mid-table area. If he needs to have a good season for you guys. Mers, your midfield, what formation did you go with? A 4?
I'm starting all 5 of my midfielders. So the first one, you'll be glad to hear this one. Your best player, Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes in there. Then I've got Cody Gakpo, star boy himself, Saka, Eze, who, if he does get a move, I think his output will go up, to be fair, if he goes from Crystal Palace to maybe Spurs or Arsenal. And then finally, I've got Marmoush in my midfield.
Yeah, I like Marmoush. I was toying with getting him in there.
I think he came good towards the back end of last season, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. He did. Yeah,
I had
so
him last season.
Carry on.
He did all right for me, to be fair. Was that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Phil, what's your formation?
Yeah, so I've gone for 4, so I'm on the 4-4-2. I've gone for 4 in midfield. I did have Mamouche for quite a while, and then again chopping and changing and whatnot. I think he's the only other one that I kind of was like, do I not? So I've got you'll be pleased now. I've got Declan Rice in that midfield there. I think he's a cracking player. I really do. I think he's massively a massive impact. And then I've gone for. I'm giving him a chance. I know we spoke about it on Thursday's Terrace Talk, but I'm giving Mo Salah a chance. I'm starting with Salah. He's going to be my captain as well. So I've got him. I've got Florian Wirtz in there as well. I think those two are going to cause some mayhem in that midfield. So having them both in my squad, I'm very pleased with. And then obviously I've got to have a Forest midfielder in there, and you know my views on Morgan Gibbs-White, so I wasn't going to have him in there. So I've got Elliot Anderson. I think he had a fantastic season last season for Forest. What he's done in England under 21s is absolutely phenomenal. I just think he's going to be one of Forest's player of the season. So I've got to have him.
He's that kind of player who's like solid all around and like hard to come by.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a quality. I did have Anderson in my first draft, but I've removed him. But I do rate him.
And then on the bench, and again, kind of going off what Mers was saying, I've got Carlos Baliba on the bench. If he does go to Man United or wherever he's thinking of going, if it does happen, again, I think his price is going to go skyrocket. And I think just having that player there on the bench, hold him for a few games and see what happens with him, I think that might be beneficial to me. So yeah, I've got Carlos Baliba on the bench for midfield. That's my 5 midfielders.
Super. So I've gone a 3-5-2. So I've got 5 midfielders. So I've got Mitoma at Brighton, Kudos at Spurs. I've gone with the Rinders, what Hutch has gone for at City, and then I've got Palmer and Salah as the midfield 5. So I think that's quite strong. There's plenty of goals in there, and there's plenty of minutes in there. So although I've got a couple there that are a bit of sort of budget players, the guaranteed minutes, I think, other than possibly the City lad, but Cole is raving about this Rinders, and he believes he'll be starting for City. So I've gone.
The only other one I was considering bringing in is, funnily enough, is Jack Grealish, and again I think that's going to be down to play time. He's going to be playing every single game for Everton.
I think that's a big signing for Everton. I think it's a good signing, me.
He's the only one that I'm toying with, but then I say to myself, who do I drop out of my midfield to warrant that risk of bringing Jack Grealish in?
It also depends on what you think his output's going to be as well. That's the thing with Grealish, is how many goals or assists do you think he's going to get the points?
I think going to Everton's a positive thing for him.
Yeah, it is.
Mentality and everything else. I think he's going to go out guns blazing. I think he's going to be like a bull in a china shop. I genuinely do for Everton. He could be Everton's saving grace this season, personally.
So on to attackers. Who have you gone with, Hutch, for the attacking?
So 3-4-3. I've gone for Gyökeres of Arsenal, Haaland as a captain, and I've gone for Beto on the basis of Jack Grealish going there. I think the thinking behind that is Ndiaye had a really good season last year for Everton, and I think with Jack Grealish on the other side, I think Beto's got every chance of regular points. Because you've got two very direct wingers there who love to get to the byline, and Beto's one of them strikers that'll just, a bit like a Danny Ings, he'll just sit in around that penalty area 6-yard box.
Yeah, he did well towards the end of the season, didn't he? Better,
Yeah.
He got quite a few goals towards the end of the season.
So I mean, I can't remember what I had, to be fair, before that. But as soon as I put Beto in this morning on the basis that Jack Grealish signed, and they've got a very, very direct wing play, and I think they'll use that to the strengths.
Yeah, some good picks there, Hutch. Mers, what have you gone with your club?
Yes, so my starting two strikers, I've gone with João Pedro because he's had an absolute phenomenal pre-season with Chelsea. I think he's going to start with great amount of goals, I reckon, in first few games for Chelsea. And also, he's not really that bad of a value, like 7.5 million, I think it is. Then I've gone with Haaland, who's my captain. And then on the bench, because he's like 4.5, so saves budget, I've gone with Bournemouth's new signing, Kupri. I don't think he's going to necessarily get much in terms of minutes. I was considering Gyökeres, but what I want to see first is the first few games, like Man United, playing Liverpool. I want to see what he can actually do in those big games before deciding to go for him.
Fair play. Phil?
So I've got two up front and obviously one on the bench. Again, I've gone for João Pedro as well. I could completely agree with everything that you said there, Ollie. I think, fantastic player, and I think he's going to do great things for Chelsea. I've also then paired him up with, sorry, my screen's just gone off, Jared Bowen. A lot of people kind of, they go, yeah, he's a good player, he's all right. And then I'm looking at it, I'm going, actually, he's a pretty solid player. He's someone that will consistently bring points in week after week after week after week. Yes, he might not get you 12s, your 15 points, but he might get you 6s, your 8 points, and that can be quite crucial in a team. And then on the bench to counteract João Pedro playing in his game for Chelsea against Crystal Palace, I've got Jean-Philippe Mateta as my other striker who's sat on the bench again. I think he's a good quality player. He's done great for Crystal Palace last season. I think again he's going to be that regular player.
I think that's a decent pick, to be fair, the Bowen one, because I know I said it in Thursday's show. He single-handedly kept West Ham in Premier League last season. You said, you're guaranteed 6, 7, 8 points every week off that guy.
Yeah.
This goal.
He's going to start as well in every week.
Yeah, because he's the captain, mate. You guarantee points every single week with that guy.
My thing with this, seeing all these new points coming in with defenders and everything, my main focus is this kind of the first part of this, the FPL, is focusing on those midfielders and those defenders. Where you've got defensive midfielders, you've got that more style of defensive midfielder, so you like more. So I wanted to make sure that my striking force is a constant flow of points. Yes, not like your Haalands of the world that might get me 12 points, 15 points each week, but players that give me a nice little amount and keep me ticking over. And Bowen's one of those, and so's João Pedro, and so's Mateta.
Yeah, for me, my front one has given me the biggest headache. So I've been toying. I don't really ever have a season without Haaland, and I'm toying even now maybe getting Salah out so I can bring Haaland in. So it's just been one. But so far, I've gone with João Pedro. I think he'll have a cracking season. He was quality at Brighton, and in a better team with better service, I only think he's going to go from strength to strength. I've gone with, same as Hutch again, I've gone with Beto at Everton. I think with Jack Grealish signing, they've got a new stadium that they're going to be playing in, and I think there'll be a buzz around the place. And I think he's an handful. He's a bit of an handful, that guy. I wouldn't want to mark him. He just seems to get on the end of things and make a nuisance of himself. I think he'll chip in with goals. And then the other striker is Sesko at United. I think he's going to really be a big player this season. All the top teams wanted him. Arsenal, they wanted Sesko above Gyökeres, but they was priced out. So for me, I think he's going to be amongst the top 3 leading scorers in the division. Whether he's straight away, that's my only worry, because he's not played in the English league before, but he's young. I've watched numerous clips on him, and he looks a player. And if we can get him firing early doors, I think there's going to be a lot of trouble in defences when he's playing. I think he's got everything that you want from a striker, and I think he'll be up there with Højlund for top scorer for me. I think he'll be up there in the top 3 or 4 scorers in the league. I think same as Gyökeres. I thought I'd have took either. United were after both of them. Arsenal were after both of them, and I thought it don't matter which one you get. Both of them are quality players. Whichever way you look. If we did not got Sesko, you got Sesko, and we got Gok, I'd have took it the other way around. I think they're both quality players, and I were close to thinking Gyökeres or Sesko, but obviously Sesko's a slightly little bit less, so that's I couldn't afford Gyökeres in the end. But yeah, I think he'll do it, and I think everybody's got solid picks there. I think there's quite a few similar players, which is every year with FPL in it, you have them players. But I'm like Phil. Every day I look at it, I'm wanting to tinker around with it. You know what I mean? Because I know when I'm not going to pick Haaland, he's going to bang an hat-trick in the first week. I've just got that feeling. And I'm thinking, but the person I've got to replace is Salah. And he's very much capable of doing the same. So it's just one of them that come the deadline, obviously, I think I'll probably stick with what I've got, and hopefully it'll work. So, we've revealed as teams. Obviously, we've got our own league, so there's going to be a bit of banter going on throughout the season. Looking at everybody's team, has anybody got any picks who they think maybe the favourite front runner, or do you think they're all pretty much alike?
I think you've got to see. I think there's a lot of new players. But I'd probably say
the rule changes will make a difference.
Go, sorry?
The rule changes. I think they'll make a difference.
I think that will make a difference, because I think people have got used to playing it how it's always been played, and now you actually got to think about your defenders. Whereas before, people just used to chuck £4 million defenders in the squad for more money up front. And now you've got to pump the money into defenders, and I think that's why they've done it.
Yeah,
So
I think it's good.
Your Salah and your Gyökeres and your Wirtz all in the same squad.
And I'm happy they've got rid of the assistant manager chip. I wasn't a real fan of that one last season. They got rid of that.
So you get all chips twice now. So you'll get your first 2 chips, your bench boost, and your triple captain from game week 1. Then wild card and free hit will come in on game week 2. You keep them to game week 19. Use them by game week 19. Game week 20 comes in, and you get the 4 free. You get the 4 tokens again, which is, I think that's better. I think it's going to make it a higher points come the end of the season. I think it's going to make it more interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of changes on people's FPL throughout the season. Heck of a lot.
The triple captain in the first half of the season is definitely going to be interesting, because a lot of the time people always kept the triple captain for double game weeks, and you don't really get that in the first 19 weeks. So it's about, looking at probably like someone like a Salah or a Haaland, if you've got them in your team, you go, right, when are they playing the bottom half of the table team kind of sort of situation, like maybe a Burnley, someone who might chip in like 4 goals a game kind of, and then playing it then.
I think it's going to be very much more tactical.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You might see everyone doing the same thing at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, we're going to catch up next Friday, where we'll be revealing who is top of the table of week 1. So that will be interesting. I think we're obviously going to we'll do a prize or something for the winner, and maybe the forfeit for whoever finishes bottom. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm pretty sure we've revealed this teams on what day are we on now?
Friday.
Friday. Is it Friday today?
We're recording. It's Friday. Yeah.
I reckon each
game.
one of us will have changed that team than the one we've just revealed tonight. You can't help but tinker with it, can you?
So like I said, when I signed back up to it again, this season, when the teams came out, in the first 2 days, I must have swapped it about 6 or 7 times, and that's a full squad swap, not just a player here, player there.
Full squad.
Full squad wiped out, started, and I did that about 6 times in 2 days. The last 2 or 3 days, I've not touched it. I've kept it at that. So
I made 4 changes yesterday.
How many?
4 yesterday.
Yesterday.
I put better in this morning.
Yeah, mine's just that Haaland and Salah thing. I'm still not happy.
I'm going to play Salah out. I'm going to play Salah out for a few weeks and see how he goes.
Because I agree with Carly. Look, Rope, that game,
The thing is with the Salah and Haaland as well is it's the price of them. It's like you either if you take them, then you're making sacrifices elsewhere, or you don't take them and then you maybe go for better options, like in a defense situation with these bonus points and midfield. I mean, there's few nice bargain players like the Reinders that you said. I contemplated it because he's a very good price, to be fair. What is it, like 5.5 million for him?
Which you don't usually get that for City players that can't. I mean, from speaking with Carl, he believes he will. Pep really rates him, and he thinks he's going to get a lot of minutes at City. So, yeah, it'd be interesting. Right, so we've revealed our teams. So we will be back on Monday for Miller's Monday. Thank you again for watching. If you can please like, share, and subscribe, it really does help us, and the guys appreciate it, as they feel happy that people like us. Obviously, if you support Man United, like it, because everyone's against me. Start coming in the comments to back me up, because I feel like I'm getting bullied at the minute with all these
Rightly so, for a Man United fan.
Banter club at the moment.
But we are. But we'll see next season. Honestly, I've got big hopes for United. But there we go. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you Monday for